There was a seed of it planted when I was in college. I went to Wesleyan in Middletown, Connecticut, which Middletown happened to have, I believe at the time, 7 mental hospitals of different vintages. But the biggest one was a massive Kirkbride plan. Kirkbride was a plan for a more um, healthy mental hospital design. I think it came about in the late 19th century, and a lot of Kirkbride hospitals were built, and they were these immense V-shaped hospitals that juggernauted out or jiggered out. Uh, it massive. So there was one on a hill in Middletown, and I was just fascinated by it, and because it was beautiful in a way. They designed these to look like castles and of different, variations, but they all kind of looked a little castle-y. But they were at that point kind of ancient. At this point, that was like in the 80s. Some had been shut down. There are a few that are still running, and a lot of the ones that have been boarded up that still exist, people sneak into and take very scary videos and photos of that are quite wrenching. But I think there was a seed planted way back then about this would be a very cool place to stage something, even though I had no idea I was ever going to write anything. The kernel of the idea for this was completely centered on the situation of a character, that there was this woman who had a very important task to accomplish from another time, who had no memory suddenly and did not know she had this important task, and then became surrounded by people who made her feel small or nuts, that they wanted her to play small, and from there it kind of went outward. Who is this person? What are they after? Who are the people around them? Do they know who she is, or and they're playing a game on her, or are they also misled? Um, and so I tried to figure out what was the most excruciating time for this character to find herself in. And basically, a woman going back in time, none of them are going to be great. So there was a choice, but the 50s really appealed to me. Just the zeitgeist going on then, and the complete um oh God, sorry. The the emphasis on conforming to society's norms, and the strict kind of gender roles that were going on, I thought would be really a good way of talking about things that I wanted to talk about beyond just the actual outward goal that she has, because I had a lot of thoughts that I wanted to get out. So it worked out really well. I decided that she should not wake up in the asylum, that it should be a kind of neutral place so that you wouldn't know who was in on it, not in on it, um, that they could easily have been fooled too. So that's where the image of the patient transport bus came to me, and that's how the that started the whole thing. When I had that, it kind of led to what I was looking for. I did a lot of research on mental health in the 50s, deep dives. Sometimes when you can't get out of the research. And in the process, one of the interesting things that I had learned was, and I was already writing the book when I discovered this, was that there had been this Yeah, actually, there were more than one, but one particularly bad doctor who was head of the American Psychiatric Society when they first put out their DSM in 51, I think, um, who uh, had the backing of the CIA uh, through their MK Ultra program to uh, fund his research into, because he believed that you could remake a person by regressing them, kind of wiping out the bad parts of their memory and kind of rebirthing them in a way, with a lot of kind of mental manipulation and so I based the character of the doctor of Dorothy's doctor on this particular guy. Um, so that was the most fascinating thing. I mean, the things that were accepted as okay to do to people, and a lot of his patients were, women with postpartum depression or mild depression. It's just insane what was allowed. Um, but also good fodder for writing the book because um, it helped uh, kind of deepen the journey that I originally had her on. Um, and what I really wanted to do was present two sides, two realities, which one is correct, um, or is either correct, and explore that, which was very hard to sustain, like to make sure that it was believable that she could not know which one it was. It was tricky. Her relationship with a voice, which changes how she feels about it, how threatened she is towards it, how it helps her, how it stops her, and where she's at the end of this is not completely resolved because will it win out? Will she go back to being that person that the voice is a lingering remnant of or not? And it gets back to one of the themes in it that I wanted to explore, which is what you sacrifice to accomplish something that you care about. And ultimately, she sacrifices a lot um, in order to accomplish that outer goal, that mission. Um, and where it goes from there, what will happen to her, I leave the reader to ponder.